This is a big mistake and a big learning point that I want to make is that I used to post beats onto YouTube and I was actually getting decent results. I was getting around 350 views per video. I know a lot of people struggle to get 100 views. This is when I was just starting out. I probably had about 20 different uploads and I ended up quitting right before I got my first sale off of YouTube. Last two videos that I posted got over 1,000 views. One of them got over 1,000 views. The other one got over 3,000. It's crazy because a lot of artists ended up wanting that beat and a few of them actually purchased it. So this is the lesson of today's video is don't count out a strategy because it's not currently as successful as you would want it to be. That's a big mistake that I made because YouTube is much more saturated now than it was in 2019.
I appreciate all the support. If you guys would like and comment and subscribe to the channel, then we'll get into the video.
What's going on, music producers? This is Kobe with Sample Source back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to explain 3 different things to you guys today. The first one is going to be why you should keep investing into your business and the best investments to make in order to make your business work more effectively as a music producer. The second thing that I want to talk about is what is the most professional way to portray yourself as a music producer in order to stand out from a lot of the other producers so that you can get more beat sales, so that you can build a more successful brand online. And then the third thing that I want to talk about is the difference between gimmicks and actual strategies, the difference between tactics and strategy. So there's going to be a lot of gems in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned. So I have a lot of material to get into today in today's video, but if you guys stick to the end, you're going to see that there's a lot of things you might be making mistakes on where you could correct those and have a more successful career as a music producer. So I definitely am not going to hold back any gems from you guys. And first of all, I want to let you guys know I just crossed over 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel. If you haven't done that, make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping a lot of gems for you guys and also alternative ways that you can make money making music online. So that's basically what this channel is about, is helping producers to monetize their content and make more money off of music. So that's the whole goal. If you guys ever need anything, you can always reach out to me personally on Instagram at Sample Source Hub. I'll put that up on the screen so that you guys can go and ask me questions there if you need anything. So in today's video, I want to talk first about what are some good investments that you need to make to get into your business. So first, I'm going to do the cliche of saying that you need to invest in yourself. And by investing in yourself, I mean, you can see behind me, I have a whole bunch of business books, you know, and self-development books. And a lot of those are really helpful. And they help me to look at life a lot differently. And even though none of those are related to music, they all help me with business and with life and just mentally getting sharper. So I would definitely recommend investing in some books. If you don't like reading, you can also just listen to things on Spotify or Apple, wherever there's a lot of podcasts you can listen to. They're going to help you get mentally sharper and more aware of the problems that you have going on internally. So I notice when I give consultations to producers who are trying to get to a certain level of income, or they're trying to get to a certain level production wise, a lot of them have a lot of mental blocks. So what you need to do is make sure you're looking at the things internally that you need to deal with, then expecting something external to work for you just by trying the next tactic, the next strategy. All of those things that I offer on this channel are not going to work for you unless you get into the right mental space where you can actually apply those to your life instead of looking at things pessimistically and skeptically and saying that they don't work before you've even tested them. So that's the first thing that you need to do, is invest in yourself. Make sure that you are aware of the different things that you could change within yourself that's going to allow you to grow and expand. So the second investment I would make as a music producer is into watching tutorials on YouTube. I've learned everything that I know from producing from YouTube, whether that is self-help stuff from a music producer standpoint, or it's been tutorials on mixing your beats, producing different styles, all of that stuff. I know Internet Money was putting out a ton of tutorials. They probably still are with Nick Mira. But all of those are very helpful to improving your production very, very quickly. So I know Nick Mira said this in one of his videos that I think was posted on CLA Woo's channel. So basically, he was saying that you need to copy beats to start out. So it sounds bad on paper, but basically what he's saying is you need to go and find your favorite beats, your favorite songs, and then go and try to remake all of those beats. And whenever you can remake them and it sounds almost as good as the original, then basically what you've done is mastered that particular skill in making that genre. So that's what you need to do at first. To learn a new kind of beat or a new type of beat, you need to make sure that you can actually copy a beat. first. And so this seems counterintuitive to creativity, but it actually helps you to be more creative whenever you have more tools in your bag that you can pull out and use. So I know I had a custom beat session that I had with a guy yesterday, and he wanted me to make a 90s R&B type beat. I only was able to do that because I listened to a lot of 90s R&B. I've remade a lot of classic beats in the pursuit of trying to perfect that style. So that's the only reason I'm able to do that, is because I'm well versed in different genres of music. So I would definitely advise that you would invest into taking your time and putting it into making different styles of beats and perfecting the ones that you enjoy creating. The third investment I would make as a music producer is into some plugins. I know a lot of people are in love with the stock plugins that come with their particular DAW, your digital audio workstation. So make sure that you're investing into some plugins though, because there are some that just make your life way easier. I know in Fruity Loops, you got the Fruity Parametric EQ2 that a lot of people use, just a regular visual equalizer. So it gets the job done as an equalizer, but I know I particularly upgraded to the FabFilter Pro Q3 filter that everybody is using for parametric EQ. So that is a really an amazing plugin. And in learning that, I still have so much to learn about it, but it actually yields off a better sound than the stock plugin. And that's just a fact. That's the reason why a lot of audio mixing engineers use that plugin and producers, so that they can get a better sound out of it. So I know a lot of people will stick with the stock plugins just because they know them better, but I would encourage you to go out on a limb and invest in some plugins, expand your mindset when it comes to plugins. So I know there's a lot of those VST people you can go and get a bundle of plugins from for cheap, but I would advise actually going out and purchasing that plugin so that you have the license. Whenever you switch computers, you can go and get that VST back onto your laptop and just put the license key in so that you can activate it. So that's what I would advise that you would invest in, is in some money into plugins so that you actually own the plugins and that they're just better than the stock ones in general once you get to know that particular plugin. So that's what I would encourage you to do. So those are some investments you make into your business. I would also invest in making a logo or into getting some kind of headshot for your business. So some kind of professional shot or somebody to actually take a good photo. If they're good at taking photos and they have like a really good iPhone or something, then they could probably take what looks like a professional headshot of you in the studio, so that you can put that as a profile picture across all of your different platforms that you're marketing your beats on. So there's a couple of reasons that I advise doing this. The first is you want to be easily recognized. And the second is that brand perception. So the perception of somebody that puts money into their craft is that when the artist sees that you've put money into your production career, they are a lot more willing to put money into your beats because you've already invested money into yourself. So this comes back to the principle of investing in yourself. The more money you invest into yourself, and not just stupidly wasting money, but actual real investments in your business that are going to yield back returns over the course of time. All of those investments, whether it's investing in a camera or it's investing in a laptop or plugins or whatever, all of that is going to improve the way that you walk as a music producer, and you're going to walk in more confidence because you've invested so much more time, effort, and energy and money into your craft. So all of that investment is going to come back to you, and it's going to show whenever you're putting your beats out there. So the second thing I want to cover real fast is what are the best business practices that you can do as a music producer. So this really applies to Instagram a lot more than it does to YouTube. So if you're producing and you're putting yourself out there on Instagram and you're trying to get more sales, then the first thing that you need to stop doing is spamming people. So stop sending those long copy and paste messages. Like, nobody wants to see that. I know there's a lot of robots sending them out, and there's a certain producer in particular I'm not gonna name, but he spams the mess out of producers and artists, trying to get them to buy his beat selling guide, which is a complete scam. So you guys leave something in the comments if you know who that is. I know I've already discussed this on Instagram, but I'm not going to get into that today. But the point I'm trying to make is definitely don't spam people. Artists definitely get lots of messages every day, especially if they have developed brands with a lot of followers. They're probably getting anywhere from like 25 to 50 different DMs a day from producers like yourself who are trying to sell their beats to the artist. So what you want to do is do the complete opposite of what other producers are doing, because I'm just going to say it's not working. Sending those regular DMs doesn't work unless you have a developed script that is designed in a way to get artists to respond. So I know that I'm just good at scripting my messages because I've tried it so many times. I started off spamming artists and I moved on to developing different scripts in order for artists to respond to my DM. And I basically figured out the best way to get artists to respond, and that is not through sending DMs at all. It's through sending voice messages. So this is something that I'm always preaching, but it just is going to work better than even if every producer was doing it tomorrow. And the reason that it works better than sending a regular DM is because you're being more personal with the artist, and they can tell from the inflection in your voice that you're being more genuine with them. So if you're not a genuine person, then it's basically going to expose you whenever you send a voice message. The artist is going to be able to tell from the tone of your voice if you're actually somebody that genuinely wants to work with that artist. So I hope that makes sense, but overall you definitely want to try a few voice messages. So if you don't speak English, I know there's a lot of people that just follow my channel and just turn on the captions. So if you don't speak English, then this won't be an option unless it is artists in your actual country. So but I would definitely encourage you to try them if you do. It's something that definitely changed my life in the way I approach marketing myself. So there's a few different ways you can do that. A lot of people try to jump to the sale early. I actually had a voice script that I include in my beat selling guide that includes how you can ask for the sale in the first message. So that is really important. I've earned thousands of dollars doing that, but I found an even better way to do it, which is to direct them onto a phone call. So that's something I talked about in my last video. If you have not watched that one, then I'll try to put it up on the screen if I remember. But that one talks about how you can get people into a phone call and sell over the phone. I think that that's one of the best ways that you can develop the most personal relationship with a artist possible, is by getting them into an avenue where they're comfortable communicating. So over the phone is just very professional. It's also casual, so you can be more casual with the person. You can also fit in so many more words than sending a regular DM. So I think that it's a best business practice to start getting into sending voice messages, because it's just worth it over the course of time. I've had so many artists that have shown appreciation and said thank you for sending a voice message, because they see so many spam messages every day. They see so many messages from producers who are trying to get something out of the artist instead of actually showing a real value. So that's what you want to think about, is like, what is the most valuable thing I can do for artists? So I also think another best business practice is to put out educational content for artists. So not really the more general stuff, but something specifically that can help artists, or talking about a current event. I know I've had tweets that have performed very well, not even tweets, but using Canva to do some slide posts, carousel posts, and they've done very well. That's something that might serve you, is to learn how to create professional educational posts for artists, and that way you can really stand out from a lot of producers that are only posting their beats. So, and if you are posting your beats, then I would encourage you to put your face in front of the camera. So I think that's another best business practice. You can have a different brand. I know I'm going to interview someone at some point that never shows his face, so he won't show his face in the interview for that one, and he's still able to be successful that way. So there's different kinds of brands. So if your brand is working well for you and you're not showing your face, then don't switch over now. Do what's working for you. But if it's not working, I would encourage you to try a personal brand. So I know my brand started to take off whenever I put myself out there, and me as an introvert, it was very difficult for me to put myself in front of a camera in front of hundreds of people. So basically what I would do is I would just play guitar along with my beats, and then artists would engage with that a lot more than me just ripping a picture off of Google or something, or Pinterest, and then using that as artwork, as a visualizer for my beat. So I would encourage you to do that. A personal brand just really stands out to artists. As people, we are personal, and we want to connect with that person at the deepest level possible. So, going live, putting your face in front of the cameras, and posting breakdowns of behind the scenes of how you make beats is going to engage with artists on a higher level. They're going to be more interested in you, and that's going to draw them in to your beat selling platform, and hopefully you'll be able to sell beats that way. So that's how branding works, especially with a personal brand. And if you're struggling with branding, then just make sure that you have a common theme across all platforms, so that it's easily identifiable. Whenever they see your brand, they know that it's you. That's the main point of it. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is what is the difference between a gimmick or tactic and a strategy. So a lot of people are always looking for the next tactic that's going to help their business. And I know that a lot of people will struggle with that because they're not looking internally and seeing like, what do they need to change as a person in order to reap the benefits of that tactic or strategy. It's not that the tactic or strategy doesn't work. It's that you have not put in the work necessary, or you don't have the right mindset around that particular tactic or strategy in order to get it to work. So there's a lot of gurus out there and they're telling you to jump into doing NFTs for your music. And I'm not totally against NFTs and cryptocurrency. I actually have invested into, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's a completely different conversation. But whenever one of these gurus is telling you to go and follow a certain strategy and they haven't actually put it into practice, shown you the results, then you probably should take all of their words with a grain of salt. Make sure when you're listening to these gurus, if they don't have any actual real experience with the thing, then make sure you're not just listening to them and going and blowing a bunch of money investing into something that you don't know is going to work and that they don't know is going to work. So make sure you are testing a lot of different strategies. And don't count something out until you've tried it and gone all the way with it. So this is a big mistake and a big learning point that I want to make is that I used to post beats onto YouTube and I was actually getting decent results. I was getting around 350 views per video. I know a lot of people struggle to get 100 views on a video on YouTube. So this is when I was just starting out. I probably had about 20 different uploads, and I ended up quitting right before I got my first sale off of YouTube. And the last two videos that I posted got over 1,000 views. One of them got over 1,000 views. The other one got over 3,000. So I've taken it off my channel just because I don't post videos on YouTube anymore. It's crazy because a lot of artists ended up wanting that beat and a few of them actually purchased it. So this is the lesson of today's video is don't count out a strategy because it's not currently as successful as you would want it to be. Make sure that you're testing different strategies, making sure that you're going towards a certain goal and you test that to its fullest extent. If I had put up 1,000 beats on my channel over the course of a couple of years, I would guarantee that I would be at thousands and thousands of subscribers selling hundreds of beats a year. So that's a big mistake that I made because YouTube is much more saturated now than it was in 2019. So you can learn from my mistake. If you ever are successful with non-fungible tokens, NFTs, or doing any other kind of strategy with music, then make sure that you don't let off the gas. Make sure you follow through with that plan to its fullest and see where it leads you instead of just jumping from tactic to tactic. That's the whole point of this section of the video. So I hope you guys have found some value in this. So if you have, make sure you like and comment on this video and subscribe to the channel. I know I already said this, but crossing 1,000 subscribers, in such a short period of time is really a huge achievement for me. And I would be nothing without you guys supporting the channel. So I really appreciate that. If you guys need any help selling beats, don't hesitate to DM me on Instagram. Again, that's at Sample Source Hub. And if you need my beat selling guide, that's available for purchase below and the link in the description. And if you need a one-on-one consultation with me, I offer that as well. But if you guys need anything from me, let me know on Instagram and I would be happy to help you guys with selling beats, monetizing your craft. So I'll see you guys in the next one.
If you want a one-on-one consultation with me, then check out the link below to set that up. And if you want to learn how I make a living selling beats online, then check out my beat selling guide below.